Hey guys, happy Friday. Today we're going to be talking about 7 essential tees that I believe that everyone should have in their wardrobe. The first one is a plain white t-shirt. You could pretty much find a plain white t-shirt from everywhere, but the most basic white tees that I prefer comes from Costco and Uniqlo. Let's talk about the way to actually style a plain white tee. To be honest with you, you could probably wear a plain white t-shirt any way that you want. It's a pretty neutral look. You could dress it up, you could dress it down. But I would say the most iconic look for a plain white t-shirt is the classic Americana white tee and blue jeans with, a pair of Chucks that you kind of see in like all forms of ads. In the 90s, the white tee became very iconic through the crazy Gap commercials during like the Gap wave, where I'm sure anyone born in the 90s have seen it, where they would have those commercials when they were really marketing their denim in a really big way. They would always put all the models in white t-shirts. And I think ever since then, it's kind of been like synonymous with the classic American tradition. One thing you should not do for a white t-shirt, don't buy a $40 one. The $40 one is just as nice as the $9.99 one. So don't buy a $40 white tee. So at BJD, we make our own version of a plain white tee, but with a few minor modifications. This is a typical Michael Brandon white tee that you'll be able to find at all value channels. And by value channels, I mean Ross, Burlington, TJ Maxx, Bell's Outlet, and I think we sell a little bit to Macy's as well. The biggest defining factor for ours is we have the curved hem in the bottom. And another thing that I like to highlight for this is we don't use a solid jersey fabric. Our fabric has a little slub in it, so it gives the t-shirt a little bit of extra dimension, gives it a little bit more added value. The next type of tee that I want to talk about is a textured t-shirt. I would say this is just as important as a plain white tee in your wardrobe, simply due to the fact that it's a non-solid solid. I think for me, it's usually when I'm trying to put together a wardrobe, what I look for is, for every single piece of clothing that you have, it's got to be different from like the balance of the wardrobe. And I think a texture is a good way to break up the monotony of things without going too far in one direction or another when it comes to fashion trend. What garment makers started finding out is this texture adds a lot of value and dimension to like a t-shirt that frankly like a clean black tee or a white tee wouldn't do. This is one of the many different textured solids that we carry within our line. This is a twisted slub, to be very specific. There's a bunch of different ways to achieve a textured look. The most common is like heather. Heather is basically just like a cotton poly blend. You see a lot of heather when it comes to like fleece hoodies or sweatpants. It's that gray color that has that little marbling in it. The next knit that I want to discuss is a dressy V-neck. The V-neck has consistently remained, even in today's market, in like the dressier realm. Nowadays, when you're looking for, I personally think V-necks are still very relevant, just not so much in a casual look, but in a very dressy look. You see brands like Calvin Klein, like Armani Exchange, and typically the V-neck is put in a very clean silhouette, and it's typically using like a cotton spandex fabrication. The reason why I call this the dressy V-neck is because this is probably the one knit that I would choose to wear underneath, say, like a blazer. We carry a V-neck as well in here. This is made with a cotton stretch fabric. This would be like the same fabric that, say, Calvin Klein uses and all of that. This is our black version of it. A way we differentiate ourselves is we put like some rib tipping on it just to really lean in on the whole dressy look. But at the end of the day too, it's a clean V-neck works just fine. I would highly recommend, if you are gonna buy a V-neck, to make sure that it's a cotton spandex V-neck versus 100% cotton V-neck. The spandex adds a little drape to it, makes it look a little dressier, adds a little sheen to it, makes it look a little dressier. And on top of that too, if you're gonna wash something that's like cotton spandex, because of the extra synthetic fibers in it, it's not gonna wrinkle as much. It's gonna help out with a little bit of the wrinkle resistance too. So that's probably why I would go stretch in this. The fourth essential t-shirt that I like to cover is the heavyweight Henley, or I would like to call it the workwear Henley. Henleys are defined as just like, you know, like a 3-button t-shirt. Like basically uses like the polo packet without the collars. It's basically a more casual polo in my opinion, but I make the stuff. I don't really give the styling definitions for this. Henleys are as consistent in all clothing lines as crew necks are. They're just another alternative, so to speak. But in my opinion, I think where the arena where Henleys have the most consistent play and the most year-round play is when it comes to the whole rugged workwear look. The one Henley that always comes to mind for me is like a Carhartt Henley, for example. Like where they play around with like a very rough and tumble look. Henleys are always, or I'm not gonna say are always, but should always be heavier than a classic t-shirt. And I just feel like it's, I wouldn't call it like a dressy casual look, but I would call it like an extremely casual look. For example, like if you wanna let people know that you don't care as much about style, but you secretly do, and you work really hard to give off that vibe, I'm gonna say Henley's definitely your go-to for it. The one that I wanna highlight the most in BJD's current line would probably be like our 6-ounce Henley. 6 ounces basically means we use 6-ounce weight fabric. It's a beefier, heavier fabric. For the whole functional workwear type of vibe, we basically added a pocket, like, I'm not gonna say oversized, but a pocket that's on the bigger end. We do 3 buttons, we use metal buttons, and we also threw in like a denim rivet. Just in case this didn't look workwear enough for you, we just kind of want to hit over the head that it's like it's a sturdy t-shirt. The 5th style that I want to cover is the tipped polo. This is the ultimate signature preppy look. I could go on and talk about it, but as a consumer who actually cares about clothes, because you're watching this video, I would probably say like this is the most iconic look out of everything here outside of the white tee. This look was made really big by people such as brands such as Lacoste, Ralph Lauren. I want to say this is like the epitome of preppy, like country club. This look is very classic. It's been around for a very, very long time. When you see tennis tournaments or golf tournaments nowadays, it's the uniform of those athletes. Polos are making a huge comeback. It's gonna explode this summer. And I think over the next couple years, polos are gonna be like the thing to wear. And everyone's gonna start dressing preppy again. And this is coming back in the streetwear world, the men's moderate world, the contemporary world. Everybody is starting to adopt this polo body into everything. A polo requires no layering, no labeling, and it's and standalone. It's gonna look good just as is. It's a very, very great way of looking good without trying to look good. The polo that we have is we really lean into the Americana look. It's a red, white, and blue polo. We use the navy as the ground because, frankly, navy is the most wearable thing. And then we do the red and white trims on the sleeves and on the collar. We have a cute little embroidery here. The next type of t-shirt that I want to talk about is a graphic tee. A graphic tee is a basic t-shirt. It's with some kind of artwork either on the front, on the back, or on the sleeves, or a mixture of in between. The artwork is usually just placed in a certain way. Graphic tees, I want to say, have the most play in America right now as merch. If there's a specific gym that you like, a specific band that you like, sports teams, athletics, movies, whatever. Graphic tees are probably the most prevalent vehicle to basically show your support for whatever it is that you like. It's a one article of clothing that really isn't about the clothing itself, but so much more about like a message that you want to convey. The graphic tee that I want to show today is one of the graphic tees that that we make over here. It's our young men's line, WXYZ, has a graphic tee division, and within it, one of the subsects of that graphic tee division are the city themes. So we do like a photo print of it, and I was born and raised Los Angeles, so I wanted to show the Los Angeles one. Yeah, but it's, like I said, it's even for like garment makers like us who are heavily steeped in fashion and trends, it's there is a graphic tee division, and you know, I mean, graphic tees could be as generic as a city theme, or it could be very, very specific. Last but not least, I want to cover stripe tees or yarn dye t-shirts. It gives off a very nautical preppy look, but then at the same time, it's there's different options. Like the reason why I brought these two here is because this is our casual moderate look, and this is a young streetwear look. Based on the colors of the stripes, based on the spacing of the stripes, based on this, these give off two very, very different vibes. One is very, very, very suburban, and one is very, very, you know, cosmopolitan, I guess would be the best way of saying it. It's a great way of injecting color without committing too much into one palette. When it comes to styling this, I would say keep it casual. It's a good standalone piece like a polo where you don't really have to do much with it. Typically for stripes, I would say less is more. I would say stripe tees have the best play when it's hot out, and that's why typically we sell the most stripes during the summertime. As a recap, if you have a representation of any of these 7 knits in your wardrobe, you'll have a very versatile wardrobe that's fit for any occasion, whether it's a casual night out with your boys, just potatoing on the couch, or even going out for a very classy date. If you feel like we've missed an essential style that you think is just as important, please drop a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, please make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thank you.